Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Ohio. And not only that, but we have something new to share. For the first time ever on this channel, I have officially unlocked a legendary mod slot. Finally, I've pretty much got all of the ships that I want to have epic mods for now, and I was able to save up enough steel to upgrade my Ohio's artillery plotting room to a legendary artillery plotting room. What does this mean? It means for every single kill I get a bonus 5% damage for the rest of the match. That doesn't seem like much until you realize that I have already stacked that on top of all of the extra damage that we're getting out of Azure Lane, New Jersey. I couldn't think of her name right off the top of my head. New Jersey. And not only that, but we're running Azure Lane, New Jersey with Palo de Revel, and we're running with Arthas the Cold. Arthas means that every time I put up a catapult fighter, that while the catapult fighter is active, I get an extra 25% damage. Pretty cracked. Now, when you think about that, and you add up the fact that if I get a Kraken during the match, for the rest of the match, I have a plus 50% damage to the base damage of the ship. And then that's not including the fact that if I get Citadels, I get more damage. And if I get Citadels beyond 10 kilometers, I get damage. Do you see how this can get out of hand real quick? You're talking about some of the hardest hitting guns. Actually, I think these are the hardest hitting guns. Hardest hitting guns in World of Warships Legends currently. And you can go absolutely ham with the amount of damage that you can produce. Now, I don't know the exact damage amount. Okay, I haven't sat down and done the math, but I think you guys will agree after you see the results of this match that it can get out of hand pretty quickly. Let's find out. So right off the bat, we don't have any spotting over here. We know that there's a destroyer in the Charlie Cap. We know that a destroyer is in a division with a Napoli, right? So we know that he's already in the cap. We know that he has a division mate in a Napoli. So we are going to try to keep our distance. And oh, hello Napoli, how are you? Nice frag camo you got there. But he's going to turn in. He's going to, I think it was a frag camo. Maybe it was his regular camo. I don't know. Wasn't paying attention. Either way, he's going to smoke up. All right. Hate to break it to you, Sunshine, but smokes work both ways. And not just that, they don't last forever. So all I got to do is bide my time. He fires his guns while sitting broadside way too close to the friendly battleship, and that lights him up like a Christmas tree on the 4th of July, and Arthas the Cold says, "Hello!" And down he goes. We managed to get 2 Citadels and a single overpin, and we did 37,000 damage in our first shot. And because we got the kill, we have 5% bonus damage for the rest of the match. And Arthas is still up right now for the next 7 seconds. Unfortunately, it is going to run out right before our shells get to the enemy ship. But, hey, it's okay. We still get the beyond 10 kilometer damage, plus the fact that we have the damage from the extra 5% we get from the legendary mod. So, pretty hefty little smack. 2 shots in, 50,000 damage. Can't really argue with that. So, Friedrich de Grossa here is in a pickle. He knows he needs to angle to the 2 battleships. Unfortunately for him, I am out wide, which means if he angles to me, guess what? He's given a broadside to my buddy in the Lepanto. So we aim high because he's bowing to us, and we slap his superstructure. Just another casual 13,000 damage to throw on top of it. Now, obviously, our Lepanto's in trouble as well. He's taken multiple torpedoes. But Friedrich de Grossa gives him a full broadside, so he takes full advantage of it. So now that Friedrich de Grossa has lost all of his hit points, we're going to go ahead and wait for him to start his turn. He is committing to a turn here. And I'm like, okay, well, if he's going to go broadside to me now, I'll just wait. Now, fortunately, the Shima manages to screw the pooch on the torpedo drop on me. So we go ahead and wait. and our Lepanto goes down. We get the shot into the superstructure that we need, and down he goes. And that's our second kill, meaning we now have a 10% bonus to all damage that our ships cause until the end of the match. That is on top of the damage that we get from Azure Lane, New Jersey, beyond 10 kilometers, and Azure Lane, New Jersey's Citadel damage boost. Speaking of Citadel damage boost, we're going to take a shot at a broadside of an Ohio, 17 kilometers away. First shot out looks pretty decent, spreads out wide, but overall not a great result. That being said, what happens next is absolutely devastation. Just pure and utter devastation. The rear turret of Justice and Truth strikes home. Bonk. There goes a huge amount of damage. I think it was 31,000 damage with 3 hits. Then we fire the front guns just to make sure, and we get another Citadel, and down he goes. And we're up to 132,000 damage. And because we've gotten 3 kills, we now have a 15% permanent boost to the amount of damage that we cause for the rest of the game. And that, again, is not taking into consideration the fact that we have Azure Lane, New Jersey, who has a perk that if any shell goes beyond 10 kilometers, it does more damage. And if any shell manages to Citadel, it does more damage. So if you Citadel a ship beyond 10 kilometers with Arthas up, which gives you another 25%, and you have a 15% boost, are you starting to see how this damage can get out of hand real quick? Now, obviously, you're limited in this match by the amount of shots you can take, right? Now, initially, I was worried about the Shima, but this Shima player is actually somebody who's trying to be smart here. He does initially try to get the revenge kill, which is what I was anticipating, right? Like, his div mate's probably really upset, probably harping in his ear saying, come on, kill that battleship, it's Spartan, I can't I can't believe I got dev struck by Spartan, that sort of thing. So I can just imagine the conversations these guys are having, in the background, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? Just, who cares about the match? Just kill Spartan, it'll be fine. Now, obviously, I'm being facetious here, okay? If this is actually you and the enemy team, just bear with me, I'm having fun, okay? Relax. But anyway, that ain't what the Destroyer does. The Destroyer does the smart thing, and he's like, okay, I'm going to relocate to the Bravo cap, which is great for me, and I recognize this because I just went dark, right? So I pointed out on the map. I don't want to point out the fact that this Ibuki next to me, what is this guy doing? Have you guys seen what he's done this entire time? Like, he pulled up, went behind the island, sat there for a moment, and smiled and waved, and then just, I don't know what he's doing. But now we have a beautiful look at a broadside Minnesota, who's just creeping along. So we go ahead and take that shot. Now, Minnesota's not known for giving up citadels, especially from these ranges, because we're going to be coming at it such a weird angle. But we don't need citadels when you're doing this much damage. 4 penetrations for like another 18,000 damage. Yeah. Kind of cracked. Because remember, anything beyond 10 kilometers gets an extra bonus damage. Plus, on top of that, we have the 25% extra damage from Arthas. So, yeah, things are getting out of hand, is what I'm saying. And, oh my god, that looks beautiful. And, bonk. Another 6 penetrations to go on top of it. Minnesota had fun. That's what matters. And because of the amount of damage he has taken, he is now going to make a very dumb play on his part. And again, what is he going to do? He has lost all of his health in the span of, what, 40 seconds with me shooting at his broadside from this range? Like, they can't even see what's happening. All they can do is cry as the shells come out of seemingly nowhere and just annihilate their ship. Now, here, I'm not going to lie, I thought I was picking up kill number 4. But he slows down just enough, or turns out just enough, one or the other, to avoid getting the kill shot to me, which would have given me another 5% damage, which would have taken us up to a permanent 20% damage buff. But unfortunately, Minnesota goes down to the rest of our teammates. And now we are getting a solo cap because Ibuki has now went all the way around the island behind me to come back in to follow me. Again, no idea what he's doing. But we're going to keep moving forward. Speaking of Ibuki, hello. Am I going to be able to lob the island? No. No. The guy's too far away, and we can't lob that island. Now, I'm trying to get in position here. I'm like, okay, well, if these guys are just going to sit here, you can see what they're doing. They're kind of just sitting here reversing. I was hoping that I could sneak a shot through the gap, but it's Mount Everest, for God's sakes. You just ain't getting the shot through there in a battleship with railguns, okay? Now, this one, on the other hand, is sitting here just being all sorts of juicy. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was salivating, all right? Look at this man. He has no idea what's coming. I aim for the cheek, expecting him to sit there, and this is the moment he decides, I need to go forward. If he sat there for another 20 seconds, that man is probably going home in like real quick fashion, because I could have easily citadeled him through the cheek at this range, especially with that accuracy. But he makes the right choice, goes forward just in time to screw us over, and then both of these guys are doing their darndest to get away from us. And that is the ultimate unfortunate here, because for the next few moments, we got nothing. We get another beautiful look at that accuracy, man. Just bonk. Fortunately for him, he's angled away from us. There's only so much I can do with plunging fire into the superstructure of the Yamato. So we get a little bit of damage, but you can see I am measuring these guys up. I swear, if either of these guys so much as breathes between themselves and the island, I will obliterate them. I am salivating, waiting for my opportunity for one of these dinguses and the Yamas to go broadside, or to like get away from that island. Just a touch. Just a little bit. Little tiny bit. But I'm also praying to God that my team is dumb enough to like let these guys just farm them for damage. Unfortunately, not all of that is true. Our gearing actually is going to flank these two going behind the island, which is real unfortunate. Our battleships are actually going to stay bow into them. And between the two battleships over there, they're going to whittle away that rear Yama for sure. And there's nothing I can do about it. And unfortunately, Gearing's about to say hello, so he doesn't even finish reversing out in front of me. Because he started to. Look at him. He's reversing. Well, he's about to be. He's about to start reversing just as the Gearing comes around the corner. But I was really hoping that these guys were going to give me a beautiful look here. But 200,000 damage. And we only got to shoot at a handful of targets. Like, we didn't really get the big, ridiculous game that we were looking for. Can you imagine if you managed to get this thing into one of those games like we had with the 300,000 damage game? Like, you see what I'm saying? I know I haven't done that in Ohio yet, but you could easily do that in Ohio. It just takes one enemy team that is completely broadside happy, because, you know, everybody knows broadside best side. And then one friendly team that is smart enough to not die immediately, but dumb enough to not really get any damage, which allows you to just farm everything. Because that's how you get those big games. That's why they're so rare in Legends, because you need, like, literally a perfect storm. We only have 9v9, right? So you have to have perfect storm, and finally, my patience is rewarded. He has committed to coming out, and look at that accuracy. Thank you, Wargaming, for this one. Plunk! There goes all of his hit points, but of course, in true Spartan fashion, we gotta leave him with just enough for somebody else to kill. Go figure. And with that, we ended up getting 200, and I believe it was 234,000 damage. Hold that phone. 230,000 damage with First Blood, Dev Strike, High Cal, and a Confederate. 3,200 base XP with the solo cap thrown in there for good measure. GG's to the Gearing, Das Boot. He also sent me a GG after the match. But what do you guys think about this so far? Are you guys excited to see potential, like, ridiculous record games with this build? Like, I have a feeling all it's going to take is me play the Ohio for, like, a stream or something. There will be inevitably one game that we get where just everybody decides to go broadside, and it will be glorious. So let me know what you guys think. Is it as broken as I think it is? Probably. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.